every journey.
Man, what happened last night? We couldn't find anyone to discuss it with because it was so late. Well, Miku and the others should be at the grounds by now, right? Let's go talk to them. Huh. Doesn't look like Miko is around here anywhere. Paimon doesn't see Ayato or Ayaka either. Are we too early? Didn't Ayato say he prepared lodging for everyone at the shrine?
Did you hear? Someone encountered a doppelganger here last night.
A doppelganger? You mean, like a doppelganger of themselves? Or someone they know?
You know what they say. Anyone who sees their doppelganger will be replaced by them within 3 days.
That's just a folktale. It's not real.
Doppelgangers? That's a common folk tale in Inazuma, isn't it? Yeah, it's a pretty famous one, huh? A friend being replaced by a complete stranger? Also, the timing is a bit too coincidental, don't you think? Could it be related to what we saw last night? The whole doppelganger thing sounds kind of like what Sayu was talking about with Bunshin Phantasm. Maybe something went wrong with Kichiboshi's powers? Well, thinking about it isn't going to get us anywhere. Why don't we go check on Sayu's team? Huh? They're not here yet. Well, if it is Sayu we're talking about, it's definitely possible. Oh, someone's coming. Weird. Is he here to work on the equipment? But he doesn't look like any of the workers we saw yesterday. And it doesn't seem like he's here for the games. He snuck away again! Do you think he might be... He's constantly looking back. Paimon's calling it now. Something fishy is going on. Good point. He could be on his way to meet someone. Let the hunter become the hunted.
Reporting back, ma'am. Nothing suspicious to note at the Bunshin Phantasm booth. It's possible there's no connection to the incident from last night.
Zara? Hey, Zoe! What's going on here?
Forgive me, ma'am. I have failed as a detective. I did not realize someone was on my tail.
So, what's going on? What are you... Huh? What orders? You really can't tell us anything?
An astute observation, traveler. Tell him the truth.
What? The Shogun is here?
You recognized me with a single glance? It matters not. I am certain the person standing before us is our friend, the traveler. His gaze, his presence, his mastery of several types of elemental energy. There is no mistake. And we need his help.
No, please! Stay away!
You're right.
The purpose of this festival is to bring humans and yokai together. We cannot allow the culprit to endanger anyone. Fortunately, no one else has been harmed.
Ah, so the thunder we heard was you!
On the contrary, it was my decision. I was unable to capture the culprit last night, so I left to discuss a plan with Miko. I did not show myself once I saw you were safe, and for that, I apologize.
Speaking of Miko, where is she?
She is investigating the trace of yokai power found at the scene. Though it fades in and out, it never strays from Mount Yogo. Miko is working with the Kamisato siblings to verify the identities of the staff members. As for the contestants, that inquiry must be performed by someone else. The Tenryo Commission is too conspicuous.
Okay, so you need us to talk to the teams and see if there's an imposter among us?
Precisely. Traveler, I understand these people are your friends, and it puts you in a difficult... But if one of them has indeed been displaced by a yokai, they could be in grave danger. Thank you. I truly hope the situation is not as grave as it seems.
What are you guys gonna do next?
Worry not. Miko and I discussed that issue. She claims to have a plan. The preparations are underway as we speak.
One of her genius plans, huh?
Indeed. If you learn any details of said plan,
There's an imposter, but we can't arouse suspicion. Oh, what? So tired. We... Oh, it's okay. I can push through. Sayu and Yoimiya seem the same as ever. Kichibushi, too. Oh, good idea! Doppelgangers only mimic appearances. They wouldn't know about someone's pet. White fur! Yellow fur! Yeah, well, the Traveler's judging this thing, so we can't... Yeah, if the people in charge are here early, that usually means there's been some kind of emergency. Oh, no, it's just... The Traveler really wanted to see you! Well, it's... your game! Playing your game yesterday? Brought up a whole bunch of old memories. So we wanted to come early to reminisce about... White fur acting super strange. Had fun with yellow fur. We went so many places together. Snowy Mountain, Coles, Outcore, Big. Orange fur come with next time? Would we have to walk there? Really? As long as Storm... Hey, it's not like Dvalin's the one behind every single gust of wind. Oh, we should get out of your fur... hair, then. Good luck, everyone! Bye, White Fur. Bye, Yellow Fur. Come back and play! Wow, we've had so many adventures, huh? You don't even... Oh yeah, totally! It was... Anyway, Paimon didn't pick up on anything suspicious from that team. If anything, we were the weird ones forcing conversations and stuff. Okay, so maybe it wasn't the best strategy. Let's ask about the creative process behind the game and confirm their identities that way. Paimon saw Toma's team show up just now, so we can investigate them next. Hey, Toma! We were hoping to learn a bit more about the philosophy behind your game. Is now a good time? Feel a soft bee?
Oh, Boss can explain that one.
Boss and Shosei were up super late last night coming up with ideas.
And he's back at it this morning, as energetic as ever. Boss is the...
Time for an interview.
Into you?
Hold on! You can't just ask a simple question, Traveler. Watch and learn. Ahem. We'd love to learn more about your design approach and strategic vision. Impressive!
A nice one, Boss.
Fixer is a tough nut to crack, huh? Whoa, not a single stumper.
Yes, Boss Toma.
Well, Toma's answers were all very genuine. Plus, he was with Shosei until late last night. If you think about when we saw the nightmare creature, the timing doesn't match up. Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird. So, we're back at square one. That just leaves Kokomi's team, right? Guess we should...
Huh? White fur and yellow fur are here early!
You're here alone? Huh. Where are Kokomi and the others?
Don't know about Great Yokai, but Soul Lady is behind you.
Soul Lady? Oh, as in Soul of the Deep. Okay. Wait, did you say behind us? Kokomi! A little warning next time! Energy? Oh! The numbers you write in your diary!
In a tree? Dryberry?
Oh, sorry.
Yobukoban is a criminal?
No, of course not! You're in the clear.
In the clear. Is good? Good.
What about Mizuki? Where did she go?
Something tells me a certain someone is missing me.
Huh? Miko and Mizuki!
Hello, traveler. Paimon.
Yes, I left the rest to the young fellow from the Kamisato clan. At least for now, there's nothing suspicious to note.
That means the culprit didn't manage to sneak in.
Just like that, you let down your guard? And all it took was for me to wear her face.
The culprit? It's you!
Oh? Greedy little thing. I thought we agreed on 20. Oh, it's getting harder and harder to tease you, traveler.
Can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds...
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running... Investigated the Shogunate officials' nightmares. Analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount...
All in one night?
Well, I didn't want someone to ruin the Mikawa Flower Festival. Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Compared to that... You're very persuasive, Kokomi. It would seem you also have a talent for clinical psychology. I'll leave it to you two then.
Sweet dreams. Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting so much pressure on herself.
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past, when I was just... We would rush past the other yokai, desperate. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years. Well, enough about the past. We must focus on the matter at hand.
But you didn't notice anything suspicious, right?
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and get their facade to crack.
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt. Make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. Oh, A didn't tell you? Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce... An esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Why didn't you clue us in earlier? We wasted all that time asking pointless questions. Another day of hard work. Where did the time go? Huh?
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign! I mean, welcome. Welcome.
This stall looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed hands.
Ah, you must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind me of someone. A Doshin from the Tenryo Commission.
Oh?
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Although this vendor seems... working? Ah, I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Of course. It's an honor to serve such esteemed guests.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dongo milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon gets one too?
Yes. I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere. Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it.
Traveler, Paimon. And the almighty Shogun?
Oh, Mizuki! Looks like you got some much-needed rest.
Yume Mizuki. Thank you for your aid earlier.
Of course. I'm always willing to help.
Even so, relieving the pain of the nightmares is no small feat.
So not even Mizuki could fix it? What's going on with this nightmare creature?
Let's save the difficult questions for later. Actually, I came here to ask you something. Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me?
Really? Yes, let's go!
Well, game development isn't easy. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all. So I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue perusing the stalls.
Aw, that's too bad.
I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dongo milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute. All right, now we can talk freely. I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything? Exactly. You noticed too. I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight. I see those warning signs in the Shogun. Humans, yokai, and archons bear the same capacity for emotion and are naturally susceptible to the same mental turmoil. It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions, and that is far from healthy. Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have— Here, With these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then,
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other...
Huh? You're not coming? Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg!
There is no need to stay behind on my behalf. If you leave now, I'm sure you can catch up. What makes you say that? If my presence makes them nervous or impedes their ability to relax, does that not... I already disturbed their progress by coming to the festival. The last thing everyone needs is more distractions. As you know, this body is hardly that fragile. It can operate for another 100 years with no issue. Mortals are weak in body and mind. What does it matter? The world is not so easily bent to one's will. What clever verbal tricks, Traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko. You think you can get away with manipulating the Shogun? I wouldn't be so sure. Persistent indeed. Very well. As you proposed, we shall set out at midnight. All right, no reason to delay. Steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku, but the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma, and that was 500 years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And, naturally, the body of the Shogun has no need for such luxuries. The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed. What makes you say that? Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumeku Ibaku could do nothing to wake them. Perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. And every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare, both for the person in question and those around them. Yes. I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down. No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again. Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh. Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Help me! Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out.
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
What's going on? Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun, I...
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just take a deep breath and tell us what happened.
I almost fainted again just now. Yes, I was on my way to Uyu restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree. It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look in the moonlight, and it was me! In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and I fainted from the shock!
A doppelganger? In Inazuma City? But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yogo.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo, too!
Now that we have an understanding of the situation, why don't I take you to the police station to file a report?
Okay.
The situation is getting worse. If the doppelganger is limited to the festival grounds, that's one thing. But it...
On the bright side, the victim seems okay this time.
Bad news, Shogun!
A Tenryo Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the festival! Kappa is trapped in a nightmare!
What?
But Sara and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once.
Kappa! Excuse me. Let me take a look.
Mizuki! Traveler! Finally, you're back!
Now is not the time to cast blame.
We split
lit up for just a second, and the next thing we knew, he was on the ground.
Oh, it must be some terrible yokai.
How is he, Mizuki?
It's strange. I can't perceive his nightmare.
The yokai! It must be getting stronger!
Kappa, oh, please don't die.
No. It was I who underestimated the enemy. I who allowed... Sarah, what is the status of the other contestants and staff? Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is...
Wait.
What is it, Miko?
You're being too hasty, eh? Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution.
Explain.
Call it intuition. If you want the truth, perhaps Doshin Shikanoin could shed some light. I believe there's been a break in the case.
That doesn't sound...
Kappa is made of wood?
No wonder I couldn't sense the nightmare.
I see. So the doppelganger infiltrated the festival as Kappa and is currently hiding in Inazuma City. Is that correct?
Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird. It's a Bagai tail!
Kikaku! Kikaku! Run!
Tetsunose?
They're getting away!
Aren't you supposed to be in Inazuma City?
And leave you two by yourselves? That's not the Tanuki way!
No fighting! Let's go!
Come on, let's go after them!
Nothing's working! The humans are catching up!
Little rascals! Stop running!
You wish!
We're almost rid of them.
Ah! A Tengu! Tengu is flying! Tengu is a cheer!
Tengu, why are you helping the humans? Tengu is a yokai!
Shogun? That's the leader of the humans!
Shogun sent people to steal our land! Shogun is bad!
Calm yourself, Sarah. Let's hear them out.
Shogun sent humans to steal our home.
And the Mikawa Flower Festival. Shogun is making yokai serve the humans.
Serve the humans? He's not talking about the game development, is he?
Shogun even forced Great Baku Yokai to work all night.
Oh, you mean yesterday? That was my choice, actually.
Jeez, where are these ideas coming from?
Stay back!
Humans want to enslave us again!
Hold on. Something's not right.
No need. I know what's wrong. They're trapped in a nightmare.
What are you doing? Trying to put Tetsunosuke to work?
Kinkaku doesn't want to stay up all night.
Servitude, enslavement? These might sound like ridiculous misunderstandings to us. A world of despair and fear, where enemies lurk at every turn.
So, they're sleepwalking? How do we wake them up?
If we knew how, we would have done so back then.
Give us your worst! Kinkaku will never leave the Tanuki path! Kinkaku will die before serving you!
Truly?
What are you doing? No, don't!
The humans are everywhere. We can't hide forever.
How long have we been hiding? 100 years? 500 years?
No idea. If Yoroi was still around, he would remember.
Shh, quiet! Someone's coming.
This is a fine piece of land. The grain yield should be exceptional.
Remember to check for traces of yokai in the surrounding area. By order of the Shogun.
By order of the Shogun, we are to exterminate all yokai that cross our path.
Why so hasty? We should leave some alive. We can make them work their own land.
Hey, you know about the Mikawa Flower Festival, right? I heard 50% of the profit is going to the development fund.
Oh yeah, the festival for humans. And the festival for humans, and humans alone. The yokai have had their fun. It's our turn now.
That's right. We should put them to work. They're known for their transformations, right? Then the little monkeys can dance for us until they die.
No. How could they do that?
Quiet, or they'll catch us.
What?
What is that? Ah!
Hey, are you alright? Yoko, Kappa, I need help over here! Hold on, we're coming!
The yokai and the humans are unconscious?
The same thing happened to all of them?
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
This yokai can speak!
No, if we don't make it to the Mikawa Flower Festival, Boss Tama will be so upset. Boss Tama will eat us.
The humans are coming for us. We're gonna lose our home. What do we do?
We infiltrate the Mikawa Flower Festival. We scare the humans away and then they won't come.
But how do we get into the festival?
Boss Toma is the best!
How about we turn into those 3 yokai?
Traveler! Traveler!
Are you all right, Traveler?
Where are we?
Huh? The nightmare is gone. You purified it.
The Mikawa Flower Festival! The humans are gonna... They're gonna... What were they gonna do?
Oh, that explains all the boss tome of this and boss tome of that. That was the only thing they could imitate. Wait a second. Hitotsume Kozo and the others should be Akitsu-yuge experts. But this time, Toma did all the work. Paimon can't believe we missed something so suspicious. Oh, you're saying Paimon's deductive reasoning is Hazel level.
Based on your description, Traveler, it's possible these Bagai Tanuki have been in hiding for 500 years. Sounds like they know Ioroi, too. Why don't we ask him? It's not far.
The protector of the grove. It's been 500 years since our last meeting. Sarah, Hazo, return to the festival to keep watch. The doppelganger incident has been resolved, but the threat of the nightmare remains. I will handle the meeting with Ioroi myself.
Ioroi, we're back!
Oh, keep it down. Bringing all these people at this hour. Don't you know even statues need to sleep? Shogun! I bow before thee. No, wait, shoot, I'm still a statue. What should I...
All is well, Ioroi, hidden protector of the grove.
Ah, that would be because when Ioroi tried to pluck a naku weed from the Imperial Garden, A nearly split him in two, Yashiori Island style.
Keep it to yourself, you meddlesome kitsune.
Ioroi, I wish to ask you something.
Anything, Shogun. Absolutely anything. It is my honor to answer.
Suck up.
You could have at least slowed down a little. It took forever to convince them to come with me.
Oh, it's Ioroi! The humans really did kill you!
Your body is stone!
Huh? I am not dead!
Not dead? The kitsune spoke the truth?
This smell is Ioroi! Ioroi is alive!
Ioroi? The humans really did seal you away!
Wait, this must be Kinkaku, and Tetsunosuke! You...
When the humans, Kamuna Harunosuke, came to hurt us!
We ran and hid. The humans searched and searched. So many friends couldn't move. Our yokai powers were getting weaker.
So we decided to escape the human just as the great Bagai Tanuki Tsukumo taught us, by digging a hole in the ground!
That's when we uncovered a horn filled with yokai power! It was the will of the great Bagai Tanuki Gichiro made manifest!
It restored our power! And then we made the human go, oh, oh, ching, chung, yeah, yeah, ha, ha.
Oh, and by, oh, ting tune, yeah, you mean?
We tricked him and ran.
So, you didn't actually beat him up at all?
We've been using the horn to hide ever since. But there are too many humans. It's getting harder to hide.
A horn full of yokai power. If the horn contained the fragment of a nightmare, using its power to hide would spread the nightmare to them.
Ha! I could have told you that nothing good would come from that horn.
We strayed from the path?
But the horn helped us hide from the humans. The humans tried to take our land.
On the contrary, the purpose of the investigation, whether we avoid encroaching on yokai territory altogether, or attempt to reach a mutually beneficial agreement.
Oh, really?
Wait, that is what the humans said back then.
By order of the Shogun, if yokai live here, we need to discuss the proposal.
Ginkaku Tetsunosuke. Not all humans are bad.
Besides, the Bagai Danaki were only sealed away back then because Ioroi stole that comb.
Ioroi? It's a thief? Ioroi got what he deserved.
How was I to know it was used to make sacred Sakura Daifuku? I gave it back, didn't I?
So the humans were mean for no reason?
Well, if you must know, the young human and I fought. I was perhaps a tad careless, so I conceded the match. Anyway, the point is, neither side is bad.
There he goes again, changing the subject when it makes him look bad.
Now you know. No human is trying to harm you.
So, it was all a nightmare.
500 years in hiding? For nothing.
It was a 500-year-long game of hide and seek. What's so bad about that? Besides, you won.
Huh? We won? Go us! We're even better than Ioroi!
Hey, my game of hide and seek isn't over yet.
Wow, the mind of a Bagai Danaki is something else. Still so cheerful even after all that.
That nature is what isolated them from the worst effects of the nightmare. But a nightmare that's still affecting people after all this time? Who could it belong to? A horn buried under Mount Yogo.
Tainted by darkness, the Oni warrior raised her sword against the almighty Shogun. Losing an arm and a horn to the Shogun's blade, she fled into the forest, never to be seen again. A trusted lieutenant fighting against the forces of darkness, she was once devoured whole by a beast from beyond this world, with the body of a tiger and the tail of a serpent, until she tore the creature apart from within. Thus she earned the name Chiyo the Tigerbite, or Tora Chiyo.
I don't think Chiyo would like that name. Though she escaped the belly of the beast alive, that battle never left her. She saw the memories of her fallen comrades everywhere, slaughtered one after another, until she could no longer distinguish dream from reality. The nightmare twisted every joy in her life, her subordinates, family, and friends, into enemies in need of destruction. It was in that state, trapped in the battlefield of her mind, that she raised her sword against me on Mount Yogo. With the Muso no Hitotachi, I cut off her arm, one of her horns, and a portion of the mountain itself. I suspect that is when the horn in question was buried there.
And subsequently uncovered by 3 Bagai Danuki. That means the fragment on the horn comes from Chiyo's nightmare.
Nightmares feed on fear and anxiety. If what the traveler saw is true, it's possible Kinkaku and the others' fear over the past 500 years allowed the fragment to gain physical form and become something akin to a Jibakure, an earthbound spirit. They move through the ley lines, but are also bound by them. That's why the traces of this entity appeared intermittently and never outside of Mount Yogo.
It would seem the fragment of this nightmare is no different from the one back then. It hates all joy and every good thing in this world. The investigation team working for a better future? Attacked. Hitotsume Kozo and his friends, kind enough to lend a helping hand? Attacked.
Yeah, and we were attacked too! Right when we were having fun with the playtesting.
Perhaps it needs to regain strength after your defeat. Or perhaps it is biding its time because it knows, but sooner or later, its twisted hatred will force it out of hiding, and it will move to strike its enemies. When Chiyo set her sights on a target, she was never one to waver.
Oh.
But Both possibilities prove something. Nightmare fragments can be defeated, and an enemy that can be killed is one that can be split in two by the power of Muso Ishin.
There's really no other way?
Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. A fragment of a nightmare tied to a severed horn. That is all that remains. The living must take precedent over the memory of the dead.
Oh, who cares about the dead anyway? I'm just trying to look out for the living.
What is that supposed to mean, Miko?
Oh, I'm just concerned about our poor Bagai Tanuki friends.
Huh? What does that have to do with us?
The nightmare fragment has been tied to the Bagai Tanuki for nearly 500 years. Strike it down, and who's to say whether you take the lives of our poor friends along with it?
I beseech you, Almighty Shogun, spare the young ones. It was just a momentary... oh, no. A 500-year-long lapse in judgment.
Miko, you speak the truth?
If you don't believe me, ask Mizuki and the Traveler. I'm sure they've encountered similar cases during their extensive travels.
Well, Oh! Yes, during my studies both in Liyue and Natlan.
Then, what would you propose? This nightmare fragment is a constant threat to Inazuma. Should all other options fail, I will take action.
If the fragment's hatred toward the world comes from a nightmare, then the most logical option is to get rid of the nightmare itself.
Right! Can't you just eat the nightmare, Mizuki?
The Yumekui Baku already tried that 500 years ago. Even yesterday, when faced with the corruption of the nightmare, Mizuki could only mitigate the effects.
What was impossible back then is not necessarily impossible now. I think Mizuki has the right idea. If we cannot eradicate the nightmares directly, why not use this entity's tricks against it? Combat illusions with illusions. Combat nightmares with dreams.
Is that even possible?
Don't forget, there are yokai that specialize in shape-shifting and illusions, and they happen to be right in front of us.
Where? Kinkaku doesn't see them anywhere!
Maybe they're hiding as trees? Or the wind?
Fools! The Kitsune is clearly referring to the Bagai Tanuki.
Given their centuries-long connection to the nightmare fragment, they are perfectly positioned to create a dreamscape that the entity will be unable to distinguish from the real world.
Back then, the nightmare had little to no weaknesses. If we want to give the Bagai Tanuki an opportunity to strike, I assume you have a plan, Miko?
You said it yourself. Mikoshi Chiyo is gone. All that remains is a fragment of her nightmare, already broken and vulnerable. Besides, Mizuki is an old friend, one that is not to be underestimated. She has traveled the land studying dreams and is far more capable than those old fossils back then.
Oh, she just usually doesn't compliment me to my face. But Miko's right. If we work together, I'm confident we can put together a ritual to subdue the nightmare fragment.
Once we perform the ritual, it will take some time for the barrier to take effect. Luckily for us, we have two formidable warriors on our side. Our festival representative, who also happens to have extensive experience against dark forces, and the almighty Shogun, unmatched in combat.
There's just one problem. Since this entity can pass through the ley lines, its movements are unpredictable. If we're going to create a barrier, how can we be sure it appears where we want?
The solution to that is obvious. If the nightmare fragment despises all sources of joy and happiness, then naturally a joyous occasion would be an evil beyond measure. An enemy that must be annihilated at all costs.
So, if we want to lure it out...
The Mikawa Flower Festival!
What joy could possibly compare to finishing one's work right before the deadline?
I would imagine we can all think of a few. But I agree. The Mikawa Flower Festival is the most plausible target. Once the enemy appears, I will pull them into the plane of Euthymia immediately. I will not put the people in danger. Traveler, I ask that you join me there so we can subdue the enemy together.
All right. I will update everyone back at the festival and start the preparations for the ritual.
Looks like an all-nighter for me.
Well, this was your idea. Oh, and don't forget, you need to finish a little fox's daydream as well.
And in a surprising twist, you were my nightmare all along.
Traveler, during the battle tomorrow, it is imperative you know your limits. If the enemy proves too much to handle, leave them to me. I know. I understand your concerns, just as you know mine. We need not say any more than that. Just get some rest and prepare yourself for the battle to come. One more thing. Thank you.